God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 52 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. I'm going to begin today on June 5th, 2023. It was the day before my husband's surgery to remove his bladder, along with the massive tumor, the cancer. We were so optimistic and so hopeful. We were all packed up and ready to go so we could start the process of him healing and being cancer-free. I had packed us a suitcase because of not knowing how long we would be at the hospital, and I'd already promised my husband that I would not leave his side, his hospital room, for nothing, no reason. My husband was a very shy, modest man, so I also promised no one but me would give him a bed bath, change him. I would let the nurses know I would do that. Well, late that evening, the doctor's office called and said they wanted us there earlier the next morning for a CT scan. That worried me, but my husband, he reassured me that they most likely just needed it to see where to operate. My gut told me something was off. It was last minute, very last minute CT scan. So June 6, 2023, one of the most devastating days of my life. We set out for the hospital, which is an hour and a half from our home, the Cancer Center in Indiana. My husband's brother's girlfriend was kind enough to drive us, like she had for the biopsy and the tube in his back for the kidney to drain, those procedures, and along with my husband's mom. They were also with me when I got the devastating news in May about the massive tumor and that he was stage 4 bladder cancer. Shocking, most horrible, earth-shattering news that nobody wants to hear about anyone, let alone your spouse, the one you share your whole world with. So we get there and get the CT scan done, and he gets called back to prep for surgery. Only one person could go back with him, so of course, as his wife, I went back with him to help him undress, wipe down, get ready for surgery. The guy came in and marked him for surgery. We were moving right along until his doctor, dressed for surgery, walked in, and he looked at us. Then he looked down at the floor, and he removed his surgery cap. As he began to speak, I looked at the clock. I guess looking back now, I wanted to see exactly what time it was when my world crumbled. It was 1:33 p.m. That's exactly like I'd done at the urologist appointment. Both not done intentionally, no, a subconscious thing. Looking back now, maybe the clock was a moment of distraction for me to give myself that moment in time to be able to brace for what was to come. When his doctor spoke, he told us the surgery was canceled, and then he went to the hospital laptop and pulled up the recent CT scan taken that morning. He said he's inoperable and began to show me on the CT scan where all the cancer had spread in that short time. My brain was scrambling, frantic, and there were instant tears. All the hope that we had was now gone. I could only focus on one spot on that laptop, his chest bone. Yes, I remember seeing a lot of lit up spots, but my brain could only focus on that one spot. Truly, I felt like the world had opened up and swallowed me whole. I had tunnel vision. I know immediately I started asking questions. Chemo, radiation, anything. There was nothing to be done or that we could do to stop the cancer from ending my husband's journey. We were at a total loss. After the doctor got done answering all of our many questions, my husband got up off that bed and walked over to the doctor and shook his hand and told him, "Thank you. I know you tried to save my life, and God bless you while you work to save others' lives." Even faced with the death sentence, my husband was so grateful and still so kind. My husband told me later, "You know that had to be hard on my doctor to have to come and tell me that I'm dying." He was still, even though being faced with adversity, he thought of and worried about others and their feelings, how others felt. I often think to myself that I wished I'd been led on this healing journey so much sooner than I was, because he and I, with the exact same personalities, same love of people, the same gratitude towards others for even the smallest of things, we would have been a dynamic duo. He could have given a new male's perspective on childhood trauma and healing and releasing the past and not letting the past dictate your future. Even though everything he endured and went through, he chose to be kind, be loving. He chose to be loyal and to be grateful. All of these to everyone around him. I also know he foreseen me stepping forward and in some form trying to help people forgive their past traumas and reflect, understand, heal, and release everything that has happened to you. Forgive yourself, forgive others. I didn't say forget, no. Forgive, but one must never forget what and who God used to make you who you are today. And I also know that my husband is above. And if I know my husband, he has tried to become God's right hand, as co pilot, on helping and to direct me on my path, my journey. Because as he told me 100 times a day, just to make sure I got it, my journey is over here on earth. Your journey is not over. You must continue on, and no matter where you are, I will be standing right next to you. Then he would say, "You aren't getting rid of me that easy. Trust and believe that." I do not own the rights to the things that I have chose to share today. Someone once asked me how I keep my head held so high after all that I've been through. The answer is simple. I'm not doing this alone. God's carried me through worse than this. And if you think I'm going to fold now, you don't know the kind of God I serve. God knew the only way you would trust and seek Him was to put you in a situation where you had no choice but to turn to Him. Whatever life throws at you, He is teaching you to have faith and to remember that He will always be by your side, no matter how dark it gets. Through His faithfulness and grace, He will lead you into a brighter season. You can seem like a millionaire to one person and a homeless person to the next. The ants think you're a giant, and the trees don't even notice you. You think you have a boring life, but the next person might be striving for your lifestyle. Comparison is the thief of joy, so stay kind and keep loving life. Life is all just a big game of perspectives. People will teach you how to love by not loving you back. People will teach you how to forgive by not apologizing. People will teach you kindness by their judgment. People will teach you how to grow by remaining stagnant. Pay attention when you're going through painful and mysterious times. Listen to the wisdom life is trying to teach you. I want to say thank you for all that tune in and listen to me healing out loud. This last year on my healing journey and being able to share my journey in the hopes that some parts of my journey relate to whomever is listening. Being able to heal out loud has been so therapeutic for me. It helps me tremendously, and I hope it helps you as well. I've been told my whole life, "Tanya, you can't save the world." Well, my response being, I sure can, one person at a time. Not only can I, but I will save as many people as I can. Again, God's the captain of my ship, and together we will save as many people as possible. Trust and believe and receive. Again, thank you to everyone that has joined me on my journey. Also, last but definitely not least, before I sign off today, I want to take this time to wish my dad happy birthday, to the man whom God sent into my life at a time I so desperately needed him. And I thank God every single day for you, Dad. God only knows where I would be now or whom I would have become without your love, your wisdom, your guidance, and without you becoming my dad. God knew exactly who I needed, and God also handpicked you for me. There's no one that could have done a better job at being my dad than you. I am forever grateful for you and to you. Happy birthday, Dad. I hope you have an amazing day. Ditto, always and forever. This concludes my podcast for today. Please join me next Tuesday. Listen in, and always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been